I'm trying to put money in your pocket, that crypto wallet, that bing bada bing ching ching big profit. Even when the market's sideways, I'm looking for ways to get paid. I'm checking my coins around breakfast, then again around bedtime. Bet this, it's not financial advice, but I'm always right. 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 Lady, and I got my shine. Money in my pocket and we're feeling fine. Radio's loud and we're playing Sublime. I think it's gonna be a good day, my oh my. I can't believe I made it this far, it's a miracle. Floating in the clouds now, used to be miserable. Never looking back since I changed my ways. I'm on that good life tip today. I'm looking for the good life, good life. Sitting on top of the world, I wanna be shining like diamonds and pearls. I want you to go there with me, girl. I'm looking for the good life, good life. Baby, we can have it all. We can make love out of waterfalls. I'm living that good life after all. Yeah. La da da da, good life, sitting by the fire. La da day, good life, feeling that breeze.
What is going on, everybody? This is basically, let's just call it an emergency update because crypto market is now dumping and it really looks like the sentiment has kind of turned bearish. However, this is Sunday. It's dump day. It's what it always does. Now, I don't know how this is going to play out. And I don't know how this really looks, right? So it's been looking like this for about 3 or 4 or 5 days. And we've been kind of just sitting back in, just kind of been sitting in denial about whether the market's going to retrace or not, right? So it looks like that we're starting to get that bearish sort of push down. Could be that some people are just doing it because it's an opportunity to take advantage of it and to just to liquidate a bunch of longs. You know, it could just be the market doing what the market does, but there is a massive amount of push down that's happening right now. So let's get in chat first. Scottish Crypto Volt is in the house. Mr. P's AFT, good afternoon, Believe. What's the scoop? Downward bear pressure. Werner's in the house. What is going on from Germany? I believe Voltoshi said in Discord it would be between 9 and 10 million burn. So it's going to be 5 million per chain. So that for me would mean we're going to get 5 million on ETH, 5 million on BSC. So when I did my video just a few minutes ago, which I just released, which if you're looking for Volt, we're going to talk about Volt in a few minutes, but if you're looking for Volt, then I already did a coverage on it. The price that's going to pump the price from, it's sitting at right now 14, it's 5 zeros 1407. It's going to pump to 1527 when that burn happens, without doing anything, without anything else happening in the market. It's going to change the value of the token and pump it up by it's 3.57 trillion right now at 5 zeros 14 as a price action. So if that's the amount that's going to burn, then you're looking at a price pump of almost 10%, close to 8. So it's a pretty good look. It's a pretty good deal to see Volt burning a bunch of tokens. So that's absolutely that's an absolutely bullish sentiment for Volt. But the most important part is what's going on in the markets right now. So good afternoon, Mr. B Crypto. Marcin in the house. What is going on? David Wright, good afternoon. Neville Thomas in the house. Beaver Lumber kicking it. Forsaken One in the house. Tell Stacy we said hi. MDK 420 it's just sucking the money out of it. Yeah, sell land. What is going on? Ringo Stark. Karen Waters in the house. Volta. JR. Take profits. Don't be a fool. Rush. I think it's bruh. But yeah, I would agree. Like at this point, you're gonna need to kind of crazy shit going on. But let's look at the chart. Let's get kind of an idea of what's going on, and then you can make a decision for yourself on what you think is best. Let's clear this off right now. Let's get deeper in here now. When you are looking at this chart, what you are seeing right now, specifically at this spot is you're seeing a breakdown on the daily of what has been a fairly solid trend line. Now, the move has been towards this upside. We've been testing, we've been testing, we've been testing, we've been testing to get to 25,000, right? So instead of that, we're going to go back 7 days. 7 days ago, we got this candle, right? So this is basically, I guess in technical terms, it's called a bearish engulfing candle. So we got this test, we got this test, we got this test. Then we got this move to the downside to test that bottom again. We found support and we pushed back up, and then we hit another top again on this. And since then, for 4 days now, we've had this cascade to the downside. And then this happened right here, which tested this support line, which we've been testing a few times before. You can see that over here. You can see it over here. You can see it all along. But the question now is, are we going to hold on this line? And if we do, then it pumps maybe back in here. But consider this is 23 in the last, since 7 p.m. is when the candles close. So since 7 p.m. we've gone from 23,448 down to 22,8. So this has been a pretty significant downward momentum for Sunday. Now, does it continue on this path? Because if it does, then we're looking at 20,700 right here. If we don't catch support right here, where it is right now, which we are catching support for the moment, but any move, any kind of bearish move, if we go to 1 hour chart and kind of look at it now, you can see here that it's really just been this cascade to the downside. Now for 3 hours, we've been testing this line, but as you zoom in, you can kind of see that we're falling slowly down outside of this. And the next line here is 22,600. So, we're in a moment right now where if we don't have some bulls step in and make some significant moves to the upside, that we're probably going to be looking at that a continued sell-off. People are already looking at it right now, saying that maybe it's time to be taking the profit out. And you can look at the money flow here, and you can see the money flow is not getting better. The money flow has flipped over here, and it's spreading, which means that you would expect more downsides. Now, we haven't seen this sort of downside in a while. So as we come over here, we saw it on January 30th when we had that sell-off. So maybe we're seeing a little bit of the same thing. And then it's going to start moving back to the upside. But there's no guarantee at this point that that's going to happen. Now, that's in the right here and the right now segment of what's going on in the brain. The long-term perspective remains a lot better than where we are overall. So I do think that this moment is just a moment, and I get this feeling that we're not going to have to deal with this for very long, that we're going to start to see a pump happening again. And that's exactly right. It's probably because of that balloon. The price is deflating just like that balloon. So, but yeah. Hey, what's up, Ringo Starr? Hey, man, have a good day. Hope you have fun. It's getting kind of old. I mean, we just can't do anything. You got to have moments where things start going up, start going down. You got to have that. It's healthy for the market. So what we would like to see is this kind of level off here, and we get back up into this little area, because if we don't, then that's going to be a breakdown in the structure of this. Now, we've seen this breakdown a couple of times before. This is not the first time that we've seen the breakdown in the structure. The point the last time was it got back into this line, and then from there, we were able to continue on and get some more upside. So let's put this down here. And if that happens, then all is good. And maybe we go back up here and we test 25 one more time. And then maybe we start getting into that golden pocket. Then we start testing some of these big numbers, and we get through this into the 27.7 range. Nothing's changed fundamentally. But, it should be, we're going to close that out, and we're going to go look at Fu Manchu. And you're going to see down here, money flow has been up the whole time. Like we've really, we've really kind of looked at, whoops, we don't want to do that. We wanted this up just a little bit more, and we wanted this up. So money flow has been pretty good the entire time. Now you see down here, it's just been red for a bit now. We're not getting that big move, and this right here, this should alarm people, because when you see a move this deep and this radical over one of those periods of time, when we see something like that, this is the move that we get when that happens. That's what one of these rapid moves that we just, like this right here, we're seeing the same thing. And as you go back in this chart, and as you find moments where that happens down here, big move to the downside. And we can look at it on the day chart, and you're going to see even more. But anytime there's these big downside sort of moves, then something like that or something like that, then that's what you see right here. This is when Terra Luna collapsed, and you see that big move. It was already on some downside action, so it was even bigger at that point. But then it pumped back up. Then we had Voyager, we had Celsius, and then we had Elon selling off in June, right? And then you saw the same thing happening right there. So now let's move back over here, and let's compare it to what's going on right now. You can see right here, it doesn't compare at this point, but it's early, and it could start comparing at any moment. We could start seeing this thing just really start to move to the downside. So far, we're looking at it's been fairly decent, but we're definitely getting a lot of negative vibes coming out of this whole structure right now. So, I mean, we'll see how this plays out over the next little while. But moving on to better news in the market is what's going on with, you know what, son of a bitch, and I forgot to. Yeah, you just get to see my face. You're so lucky. So anyway, Mr. Cryptocurrency in the house. Happy Sunday to everyone in the live chat from the network, and shout out to the NGN community on their first CEX listing, and more coming this week. Please respect. I appreciate that, man. And by the way, for those of you that don't know, I do have I got some new NGN content. NGN is part of an AI structure for cryptocurrency that I'm going to reveal a little bit about it over the next 24 hours, and you're going to get a little bit more information than you had before about what is going on with the network, and should be very cool. Now let's get back into this. 1400 is where we're looking at on Volt now. So then the question here was for somebody, and if you haven't already, by the way, this is how it works. So we're going to go over here to Volt Inu. And we're going to look at the dashboard, because we want to see how many tokens we still have in the circulating supply. Now, we're assuming at this point 10 million burn. We're assuming at this point that it's going to be about 5 million per change. And the total circulating supply over here is 64 trillion 95 billion, right? So now what we want to know is we want to know how many tokens we can buy at the current price for $5 million. So we're going to take 5 million, and we're going to do it by 14. So right here, 3 trillion 571 billion 426 million. That's the total number of tokens that we can buy. Now, when you take that, we're going to put up here, we're going to put the circulating supply, which is this 64 right here. And then we're going to subtract this 3.57 trillion. And then we're going to come up with we're going to come up with 60 trillion 524 billion, right? Well, now we're going to take that price and we're going to pop that up here. And then we want to look at the overall market cap. And the current market cap for it is $92.11 million. So we're going to take our supply over here, and we're going to divide it by 92.110,000, and then we're going to divide, and then that is what the price action will be tomorrow. So today's price action is 1401. Tomorrow's price action with those tokens burned makes it 1521 or 1522 basically. So you're really looking at an almost 10% lift in the price of your tokens just by virtue of this simple burn. Now, And if you're dealing with that, just look, if you got $10,000 in Volt, now you got $10,800 the next day. Do you know what I'm saying? Like that's a significant amount of increased value for the remaining tokens. Now, I don't know how you feel about that, but that is some free and easy money. That's a very bullish sentiment that helps to pump it up the chart, and that's going to happen without an announcement. This is all happening without an announcement. This is just what you're going to get for what's happening right now. This is not. This has nothing to do with any partnerships, any announcements, anything else that might be going on with it. So just remember that. So 10% or almost 10% more value for what you're doing is not a bad time. So yeah, this is it's a great opportunity in Volt. So if you haven't already, certainly check it out. Bone, by the way, having a breakdown right now down to $1.73. When I say breakdown, that's from that all-time high of 221 and which it pumped up to just a few hours back. And now you're seeing that total move to the downside. And here's the thing. I go back to this, like, here's what's happening right now in the market. And, you know, mass adoption in retail is what we're looking for, right? We're looking for, you know, that moment where we really start to see significant holders popping into SHIB. Well, in the last hour, we've had 39. In the last day, we've had 1,197. That's about 30,000 holders per month, which is not even as good as the 3-month average already is. So the slowdown that we've had in the last 24 hours, not the best slowdown. So we definitely want to see a lot more happening than what's going on over here right now. So, you know, you just got to kind of pay attention to it. You just got to kind of watch and see how this whole thing plays out. I mean, you know, but we're seeing a slowdown of new money coming back into the market. So that, of course, is creating a breakdown in SHIB as well. You can also see here that Cult was testing breaking that zero, got rejected heavily, and now it's down big. And that's really the case with almost everything. Lillian couldn't support, it didn't even have a pump, by the way, couldn't support at that level. And then, of course, it's dumping as well. It doesn't take much to dump that on the price, by the way, especially when Ethereum starts to dip, right? NGN on a 3.7% pump, still hovering right around that 10-cent level. Good price action. Decanect still just crushing it, still up 26.9%. And listen, you guys, anytime you come to me and you're asking about a play, and anytime you're watching me and your idea is, well, I wonder if this guy's got any play that might be able to make a little bit. Well, you know what? Here you were at 1 point. This was at 1 cent, just to give you guys kind of an idea here. And that was the max over there. So 1,034% that was a 10x. If you had been listening to me on Decanect when I was telling you back in December, like, this is a great opportunity right now because it's got that low market cap and there's big things coming. Well, there were big things coming, and it's 4. By the way, 4 crypto exchanges are coming. They haven't even launched the crypto exchanges yet. There's 4 of them coming, and that's the price action before each one of them. So there's going to be pump and there's going to be FOMO for each one of the exchanges. So you're about to see what I think is a run. I don't know if it gets to $1, but it's possible to get to 50 cents, especially if each one of these exchanges ends up creating some more value. And then we get Decablock. And if you're wondering what Decablock is, it's basically the Decanect.com website for educational content on steroids. Basically, it's a trivia site. It's an app. It's a DApp trivia site. Does a whole lot of different things that Decanect doesn't do right now. A lot more fun, by the way. Most of the stuff that you're watching on the screen is going to be interactive. You'll be able to have a lot of fun with the new Decablock as it comes out. So Crow to $3. Crow is going to take a long time before it goes to $3, but yes, there's certainly some opportunity for it to happen. There's certainly some opportunity. NGN, as far as it goes, there's a this is going to have a significant upside too. And it's going to have a significant upside. By the way, if you are looking for patterns, then you do see that this one is shaping up like a pennant formation, which coming from this downside does mean that there is the potential for it to have a breakout moment. So, you know, we're not looking at, and I think I'm a little aggressive with that. I think that actually breaks out a little bit more like this and then like this. So in a couple days, it looks like NGN is just kind of ready for another breakout to the upside. Remember, the top was up here at 15.98. Like, this is another one that could be at 25 cents in a day or two before you know it, with a nice little run off of the structure. Now, that structure, by the way, that's a day chart, and this is a brand new token. So when I tell you this, I'm basically guessing and speculating as much as anybody else. I'm not saying that this thing is going to run to any gigantic level, but I do think that it has the opportunity. And if it 10x's, just like Decanect did a little while back when I was telling you, then it would have under $1 million market cap, and it would be worth $1 a token at that point. So if you haven't already, you should certainly check out NGN because at some point, oh, by the way, there is a first listing that has been confirmed. Of course, we have to wait for the announcement of the listing. And then once that's done, then we'll start seeing another listing and another listing. And then we're going to see NGN might just represent the future of AI. We know there's a lot of AI that's been coming out just recently, and these guys are in the AI market. So we're going to see how network AI interface works with the rest of the internet. We're going to see it pretty soon. So let's move on. Did you try Advantis AI yet? I checked out about 4 different tokens with Advantis AI, and it was a pretty nice. It was. I didn't have any problems with anything that I saw. As a matter of fact, Advantis. For those of you that don't know, Advantis AI is a crypto. Let me see if we can just launch the app right here. So we're going to input a contract address on Advantis AI. We're going to pop this in right here. All right, so this is Advantis AI. And if you're looking for, let's say you want to, look at cryptocurrency, like let's do Cabosu, because we've been big on Cabosu, and we think that Cabosu is pretty cool and a friendly little dog in itself. So we're going to go to Cabosu. Why are things dropping? Because people are selling. It's just because people are selling. I mean, I know that's the obvious answer, but so we go to Advantis, we input the contract. This is just like Token Sniffer, by the way. We're going to put this in, we're going to analyze it. And it's going to give us what the analysis is of what's going on with Cabosu, right? It's going to tell us what the lock liquidity is, what the circulating supply is, when the next unlock event is, and I don't see any of that. So right now, I'm a little nervous about, this score of 50. So it looks like for Cabosu that the liquidity is completely unlocked. Total market cap 2.55 million. At this point, I'm going to be just a little bit nervous, and we're going to come over here and confirm it with Token Sniffer. Are they right? Is the liquidity completely unlocked right now? And here we have Cabosu. And let's see if we can see something down here. It's got a score of 100 of 100, and it says adequate liquidity. And here's the liquidity pool. Here's the holders. And it doesn't. Well, so here's Unicrypt. And no lock liquidity on Unicrypt. So I don't know where the liquidity is locked. So I would, if you're in Cabosu right now, be a time to kind of question whether or not you want to continue to be in it, because that's a little bit odd. So you do you, but remember that. But let's go on. We got Decanect over here. You can look at this. You can pop Decanect in, go back here, and bam. And then here you go. This is the amount of liquidity locked. This is the current circulating supply. This is the next unlock. You can see it's September 8 of 2023. Then you can look at the top 10 wallets, the similar contracts, and you click all these, and you can actually go down to the bottom and you can just kind of roll through here. And this shows you each one of the top 10 wallets. This shows you any similar contracts, and it tells you whether or not they were rug pulled or not. So Shibiter, I don't know what that is, but it's got a 72% contractual similarity. Contract used over 200 times, so it's a similar contract to many other tokens. Suzuki, which is listed as a rug pull, and Ass Protocol is listed as a rug pull. Baby Trump is not listed, but it's got a 63. So they're similar contract, and you can kind of check that as well. Buy and sell checker, and it can tell you how many transactions that are buying and selling. You can see that the ratio is 67% to 32% right now, buying to selling, which is a bullish number. Here's your risk weight, contract similarity weighing, gives you a 0 here. Liquidity weighting is 17.3 and the code is 82.7. So it gives an overall score of 52 with a medium risk level and low market cap. So I would think at some point you're going to be looking at that and you're going to be wondering, how it plays out. And that's a good one. Now, one of them that we really are excited about is MMAI. So let's go look at MMAI, because that should have, by all rights, since they've done a great job with liquidity and stuff like that, should have a really big sort of score, right? 2.5 million in liquidity, 10 billion circulating supply. Next unlock is March 5 of 2023. So, but here's the wallets, similarities. We're going to pop all of these open. Then we're going to scroll down. More than 50% are in the top 10 wallets. Yeah. Then we got here, contract used over 200 times. Same thing, 82% similarity. Severity is high. Suzuki. Oh, you know what? They're using one of the same contracts. So, Luna, contract similarity, Baby Trump, Squawk, blah, blah, blah. Buy and sell. There's a whole lot of selling right now. 66% selling, 34% buying. Risk weight system is 17 and 82. The score is 52. Well, that's kind of weird that it's got the same score. So they might have some work to do on this in how they're doing a risk assessment. So, but as you can see right here, it's another great place for you to go in order to look at your cryptocurrency. So, we're definitely checking it out. So, yeah. All right, now let's get back into what we were talking about before, and let's get this look back over here on Bitcoin. You can see here there's a green candle wicking itself back up right now. We're gonna close that out, and well, you know what? Actually, we want to close that out. So Bitcoin is getting a little bit of a recovery after it touched down at 22,767. So that is, let's get over here. That happened about 20 minutes ago. And now we're looking at a little bit of a recovery. So let's get boom, 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 boom. What am I looking for? What am I looking for? What am I looking for? All right, so your 5-minute MACD is back in the green. So looks like the money flow is coming back in slowly but surely. 15 minutes still in the red, but it's starting to move back to the green. 30 minutes still looking bad, but again, moving back in that situation, moving back better. In fact, let's go over here and look at Chandelier. Chandelier said, "You dirty, dirty dogs, you should have sold way back here on this one." So Chandelier out here working perfectly, that's for sure. So, and it gave you a sell at 23,007, and it came down to 22,007. So if you would have listened to it, you would have made a little bit, or you would have protected your investment. But now we have this fight here, and then the question becomes really, do we come back in and do we grow off of this, and does the money start coming back in? So we're gonna be looking at this because this is showing that we're down, and when I say this, we're talking about this little shit. This little area right here is the one that I'm usually looking at, and it's going to tell me what the total market cap is and what we're up or down on the day, which is kind of right there. I don't care if we're up or down. I just want to see whether the money flow is coming in or out. And that short term in, that doesn't make up for 23 billion coming out of the market on a Sunday. And guys, Sunday is the weekday. So, and I mean, WEAK, not WEEK. So, as the weakest of days, this is where you get attacked. So, I mean, what I say is crypto kind of got an attack on it. And you can see here, though, by the way, that we haven't really broken out of the structure here for the upward momentum on the overall market cap. So I don't think that we're in horrible position. I think that we're kind of sitting in that spot where we still have this right here. We still want to be above this red line, and we want to be above this red line because going back, that is that November number from FTX. We don't want to go below the FTX collapse number because that's no bueno. That's no bueno zone. So hopefully we can pump it back up here. It's academic at this point. It either will or won't happen, and we'll watch with bated breath how it happens. But again, green money flow, good. 15 minutes turning green, almost green, not quite yet. But we're getting the crossover down here, by the way. So when you see the crossover here from the signal to the MACD that you're looking at, you're looking for the flow to start moving back upwards, and you're looking for that crossover usually puts you into the green money flow, and it usually starts to pump on the price again. But recognize at this point, if we're going back up on, so if we're doing this and we're making this move, by the way, then you can probably expect to see a little bit of resistance kind of right here on this move. You might even see it a little bit lower now that I'm thinking about it. Like maybe this number is going to come down just a touch here to this spot right here. So we'll probably face some resistance here at 1630. So we have to fight back through each one of these little stupid levels. There's another one coming up right here at 1640. So there's going to be a little bit of a fight all the way up back to that 1650 number and then through 1680. So that's how Ethereum is lining up. Crow, which was having a nice little run almost up to 9 cents not that long ago, did go almost to 9 cents over here. Again, same thing happened over here. You just had that big sell down, but it's kind of held up pretty well in light of it. So, and the money flow does appear to be coming back in slowly. So maybe the worst is behind us. We can come over here to Twitter and take a quick look at the liquidation rush and see. Longs were liquidated 21 minutes ago, and this is long liquidation, by the way. So you can see. And by the way, Huobi, if you're looking for a place where shit's going to get crazy, it's going to be probably Huobi at this point, because if you remember, before things went out of their minds and we lost FTX through everything that happened, before all that happened, what did we see? We saw all of the liquidation. We saw all the manipulation that was happening going through FTX. Well, now 87,000, and that's going through Huobi. So ETH long, 116,000. Again, Huobi is the big one. Binance is the big one over here. Huobi is bigger than Binance over here on this liquidation. Huobi is the big liquidator. 445,000. This is combined Bitcoin long liquidations about 2 hours ago. And this is by the way, this is a correlation with the downward price action. By the way, let's go to the 1 hour and let's look at these numbers here. You can see right here. So this downward stuff over here going back to 6 a.m., which can be about 6 hours ago. As you go down this list, you're going to see massive amounts, and it's long liquidation, long. This was basically bears just attacking long. And we're 2 hours in, and we haven't seen a short liquidation at this point. Now, there was one at about the 3 hour mark. So there was, right here at the 3 hour mark, there was a short liquidation on APT on the Aptos, but I mean, otherwise long, combined altcoin liquidations. And you could just see just massive amounts, all of them long liquidations. And so, I mean, basically, we just had an attack on long positions. And this is worth the 6 hour mark right here. So you can see here, like this is just, and it started probably the hour before. So let's go to the 7 hour mark. Yeah, so here we go. All right, so shorts were being liquidated. Shorts were being liquidated. And then bang, we got a few little longs, Doge liquidations, FTM long. Then we got our first Bitcoin, 200,000 long liquidated right here 7 hours ago. Then 315 a little bit after that. Then we got another 227. Then we got 273. Then we got 500, almost 500,000 in ETH, 100K in ETH, 81,000 in ETH, 165 in ETH. Now it's just the cascade. 400,000 in ETH, 300,000 in Bitcoin. Here's the big one right here. This, by the way, this is this candle right here. Okay, it's all happening at this moment. 1.2 million long liquidations on Huobi got stopped out. Ethereum, another 280,000. So you just see that it started right here. And then we have another one just a few minutes right after that, 600,000. Then you have this gigantic list of altcoins liquidating. And then again, it just goes on and on and on and on and on. So that's what all of that was right there. Basically 6 a.m. in the morning. Nobody in America's up. They're not protecting the price. You've got people not paying attention in Asia because it's about the 12-hour time differential. So that's dinner time, late night, evening. You're probably not watching the chart. This is a perfect opportunity to drop the price. Just like that. That's one of those moments where the timing for you is just perfect. And by the way, you can see it here like at 3 a.m. and you can see it over here. This Sunday, by the way, this is what happened during that period of time. Last time, we didn't have any kind of problems or any kind of issues. So, kind of played itself out perfectly. But as you start going through these, you're going to find some of those on Sundays. Sundays is just one of those volatile sort of days, especially in a bull market, because that's a kind of a clearinghouse level. And the market's still pumping up, by the way. You can still see, Jesus, that's not optimal. What in the hell happened there? I don't know what I did in my chart there, but that's gross. So money flow is back in the 15 minutes. It is in the 3 and the 5 minutes. Moving back up on the 30-minute chart, and the 1 hour chart is starting to change colors. So we're starting to see the run back up. So, what we'll hope for this total market cap to get back up in the 1.02 area, because that's going to be best for crypto. And in coin market cap, we'll look for it to regain some of this price action here. Again, the 1650, 1660 would be optimal for Ethereum at this point for that recovery, but we're still at 1.061 trillion in the market cap, and it was not that long ago that we were sitting under 1 trillion market cap, way down in the 800s. So let's not forget that we're in much better position than we were before. Now, moving back over, let's look at some other tokens right now and see what's going on. Luna Classic did not hold its big position up here at this 21. A lot of people pumping, saying, oh my God, it's happening. Oh my God, it's happening. It's not happening. I've never told you it was happening. The only thing that I gave you an opportunity to do was this right here. Make your flip when you get that big pump that happens on USTC. That was it. That was all I told anybody to do. So I hope that everybody did that when you had that opportunity. Now it is on a pump again, so it's possible that this USTC recovery, as we get closer, by the way, to this thing happening, as we get closer to this, you might see another opportunity for this, pump to happen. And if that happens, then the governance, by the way, is there. It is. So the repeg signal has happened, and this is just the signal. By the way, this is not. This is not an actual we're doing it. This is right now. They're forced to start conning. Basically, they have to consider what they're doing over here. So that's what's going on. That's what's going on with that. So yeah, I think that. I think that doesn't really make too much of a difference, but it does require them to now start doing something. Validator minimum commission fee to 5%. Now, this is an interesting thing, because here's the problem. The problem is, and it's fair to be someone who's out here looking at this. Is Terra Luna Classic too centralized? And the question is because of all nodes and because of the level of everything that all nodes represents. They have some security keys for people who are using all nodes for their own to run their own validators. So they control a large amount of this. So the question is that good? And I mean, the answer to that is obviously it's not. So this proposal right here, this proposal, and by the way, I got a feeling that if I go in and take the time to look, that we're going to find that all nodes probably voted no on that. But what we need is we need that 5% minimum commission fee would allow for a more centralized approach, because then everybody, especially the bigs, they can take a smaller profit margin, and this would prevent them from taking that smaller profit margin in order to get more people over there. If you had a minimum of 5% required, then everybody's playing on a more level playing field, so people can move their money away from all nodes to other places. And that's probably quote unquote fairer and better for all people involved if that happens. And we are starting to see a real good pump on USTC, even though it's coming back from that move. I mean, you can see obviously right here that something's going on, at least in the short term, and it looks like we're getting back into the green. So money flow continues to just kind of trickle in. We'll see how this plays out over the next hour or two. Ethereum, by the way, still in that channel that we created a couple days ago. It hasn't fallen out. It did pop this 1607 and bounce off of it. So if you took your profits up here like we did, then good for you. When actually, let me rephrase that. We were actually over here at 1690. So yeah, that's a $700 pump right there. So hell yeah. So anyway, now let's get into chat. Am I missing anything? Let's talk about BRL. BRL, we're looking at, where are we at here? BRL, just kind of waiting for that moment where BRL has that takeoff. Now we're in February, and we're in it's a couple weeks into February, somewhere near Valentine's Day, where we're going to start to see that BRL move. In so much as there might be a BRL move based on there's a partnership over there with somebody in England for something. But USDC rewards are now 57, so I've made over $100 just kind of sitting here holding on to it and not doing anything with it. So I mean, that's pretty good, right? That's not a bad play. So certainly happy with it. Could be happier. I mean, listen, let's be fair. If there was more volume and there's more APY, then that number could be 150 or 200 by this point. So it's not without me recognizing that there could be a whole lot more out of it. But I've been pretty happy with it. Also, BCB is on that trend line again, just kind of holding on right here. Now, if this drops, then you're looking at probably that 97 level. And I'm not even putting a line there at this point, but you're looking at that probably 97 level. Well, you know what? Let's say this is probably going to be 1,000. 1 penny is going to be the probable resistance point right there on blockchain bets. So the trend line is no longer your friend as it's pointing up here. We're on 3 days of red. So, I mean, again, this is going along with the market. So what's atypical of the market is certainly Volt right now, because you can see that the money flows are just coming in and coming in and coming in. Again, Decanect, I think, probably same way. Probably just kind of sitting in the green. Yeah, I mean, the green money flow continues to come in. Kabosu, that's probably not as much. Yeah, that one's a little bit different. So, structure, by the way, on memes is just a little bit different. So, yeah, so let's close that out. And there we go. All right. So how's everybody doing out here? What do we got going on? Let's see. Did we cover the super chat, right? That was NGN. Yeah. So we got that covered. All right. So how's everybody feeling? Everybody should be feeling pretty good. even though there is a dip today. Everybody should be really feeling good because my wallet is super up there right now. So if you're doing what I'm doing, then you're feeling really good about where your positions are in almost everything right now. I mean, with the lone exception, maybe your BRL, maybe you didn't get in when I got in. I got in at like 56 cents. So you might feel a little bit worse about it, but I mean, I'm still up 3x. So, yeah. And your Decanect, if you're in Decanect and you're in, if you're in Decanect and you're in Volt, then you gotta be super happy. You got Decanect is up 1,000% from the beginning of the year. So you're up 10x on your investment. If you just paid attention to me and you just listened to me back in December when we were doing this, then Volt was trading at 78 not that long ago and is now trading at 14. So you're up almost 100%. If you DCA'd, you're probably feeling pretty good. If you bought in, you're probably feeling pretty good. So, and then Luna Classic had that run to 21 and now it's correcting its way back down. It's most certainly not a flop. This is, and this is why you can't have nice things. And this is an example like of people that probably just aren't going to make it, right? Look, if you're looking at this little window of investment and you're not looking at the whole page, then you could say that because you don't pay attention enough, right? It just doesn't make any sense. BRL is not a flop because it relies on new retail money to come in and it doesn't do any advertising. So, this is kind of word of mouth, and they're still working on a whole lot of reasons for people to be making money for staking. And that's the important thing right now. So they're not, and there's plenty of cash in BRL. They're not worried about it. So that's that short-sighted sort of thing. Like, bro, if you can't just chill out, take a deep breath and recognize that your investment is long-term, you're not going to make it. You're just going to cheat out and you're going to lose money every single time. There you go. I bought BRL 35 cents. Then you're in a good position. There's no reason to, there's no reason to be worried. Everything mints new highs, everything. And here's the other part. When I say that, so let me not say that you're just by virtue of being invested in it, it's going to go crazy. I'm not saying it's going to go crazy just because it's BRL. But I am saying this, it's going to go, I think it's going to have a moment. No, you should have high goals. Listen, if you're trying to have a high goal, then I think that BRL is a good one to have a high goal for. But it's unrealistic to think that it's just, listen, here's what you're looking for. You're looking for magic to guide it. If you're thinking that it's going to pump super high and we're going to have that, because look, Modi was out there doing the same thing. Like we were at $4.62 at one point, right? So Modi was like, it's just going to keep going. It's just going to keep going. It's not going to keep going, right? It always corrects back down to its base, right? We don't know where that base is. Let me pop the chart up, and I mean it's really kind of simple. And to remember here, here's the important factor. The important factor is that Steve from Rocket Crypto is the guy that's making this token, right? So my line here probably too aggressive because we're not adding enough holders. So let's close this out. And then let's look at, we're gonna look on the 4-hour chart. Might be a little bit easier to kind of do the 4-hour chart. But so this is the trajectory line. Now, obviously the trajectory line needs to come down like this. We need to at least consider that there's our bounce. There's our bounce. Now we had this moving up this way because it was maintaining this upward trajectory and this upwards momentum. Well, that was probably, that was probably the early investors and the whales kind of pumping the price and keeping the chart action going up. Well, now we probably need to take this and move this out kind of this way, right? So if we take into account right now that the potential, and now this, by the way, this chart might be wrong too. There's a possibility of going under, but if we take this into account and we say that now the minimum price action here is $1.40, if we continue along the same path, doing the same thing that we've been doing, and then we use that and respect that as a line, then we're talking about right here, just continuing to add new holders as retail investors come back. Then you're looking at by, what are we talking about? April. By April, the minimum price for the tokens are going to be $2.32 by virtue of adding new holders and creating new opportunities and increasing the rewards for staking, which all of that, that's what all of that does. That's what happens when you're doing this. You're creating more value in the long term, and you're creating more sentiment. Now, this thing that happened up here was unsustainable. That was unsustainable. All of this over here, this was an attempt to hold it because everybody was thinking, oh, it's going to happen. And then this is the despair of the end. We're getting towards Christmas, and everybody wanted to be at $1 million. We want $100 BRL by Christmas. It's not happening now. Now I got to pay my taxes. Now I got to do all the things that go with crypto. Now, the other thing is BRL for a bit was running contrary to crypto. So it was pumping while crypto was dumping. Well, then we got to the 1st of January, and we have not pumped since the 1st of January. Now, that creates a negative sentiment for people because they're looking at something like Volt, which, by the way, didn't start pumping until just recently, or Kabosu having a big moment. Kabosu's not going to last. It's a great look. If you can make a play and you can get in on these 23% pumps, with 1 or 2% tax, and you can get in on it at these potential low numbers and get out at these potential big numbers. Like if you do that, then good, do it. Decanect, if you can hold on to it for a long period of time and you got in way down here at a very cheap price and you're holding a whole bunch. And here, by the way, spoiler alert, here's the holder count for Decanect. And if you think I don't want it to go to $1, you'd be kidding yourself. I'm the number 26 holder, and I have 68,638 tokens. So I assure you, a $10 Decanect would serve me incredibly well. So, full disclosure, that's going to be a long-term hold for me. But I don't need to cash it out today. I could cash it out today, and it's worth what, 10 grand? But I don't need that. What I need is a gigantic amount of money, and I don't want that small amount. I'm not here for that short-term play. I'm here for that long-term play. So Kabosu, short-term play. Decanect, long-term. Volt, long-term. Saitama, long-term. Volt, Saitama has to be long-term. NGN, long-term. WAGMI, long-term. I've been a holder in WAGMI since almost the day it was launched, right? I was in V1. I got my V2 tokens. My initial investment, I think it was like $1,000, was up at one point. My $1,000 investment in WAGMI, I think it was like 12,000 at one point. Did I cash out? No, because I know that there's a long-term play there. Because of who I I'm not going to sell on the chart. Cato, not going to sell on the chart. Terra, not going to sell on the chart. You know what I mean? Like, it's just not cool. And by the way, Terra did not sell off, by the way. We're almost at that point. So we're watching for it. Definitely watching for the money flow on Terrarium to see whether or not they do. But I'm not concerned because even though there's a whole bunch of crybabies and whiny ass bitches that just can't stop crying about it, it's got $3 million in liquidity. And the people who are crying about it are telling you all about that cool token that they're in with like not even close to that much liquidity. So like, I don't give a shit about what they're saying. So, and you shouldn't either, by the way. If you don't like it for your own reason, but pretty simple. Anyway, so I'm not looking to sell any of these. I'm not looking to sell off on charts or anything like that. I'm looking to hold on for dear life and just let the market do what the market's going to do, and then take advantage of it. So, I guess that's all I can say. Now, let's get back over here to see what's going on. And we've lost about $1 billion in the market cap, came back out. I don't know if that means that so the 15-minute just had a little kind of a sell-off candle. Let's go look at Bitcoin. Yeah, so the flow is just coming back out, but you can see here on the minute chart that the minute chart is showing that the money's coming back in. The 3-minute flow looks like it's about to flip to the other side, but it then picked back up, and now it's moving back up green. So maybe, maybe we've got some really interesting stuff going on in this market at the moment. I don't know. Looks pretty nasty. Let's go take a quick look and see, however, one of the big ones, by the way. And I don't have an answer for you on Bone, by the way. Bone's been kind of dumping super hard, but you haven't seen that, by the way, on SHIB. And remember, I'm not happy with the number of holders that are popping in on SHIB. SHIB is not doing what I want it to do because it's just not there yet. And it's probably the market's just not there yet. Now, I said, this is optimal. This is what we would love to see happen. The 1787, this is a magic line here where, I think we're destined to get here. But again, this big sell down over here was not even then. So what's happened in the last few hours? Let's see, 1 hour. There we go. So we got the sell down with everything else. But then it's just traded sideways since then, even though the rest of the market's been kind of dumping, right? So there's still enthusiasm, but it's being pushed down by the market conditions. And hopefully we're going to see a flip back to the upside because we're still waiting for that Shibarium moment. And when we get that Shibarium moment, that's when it's going to be, look, there's a lot of people that are betting a lot on Shiba Inu right now. And you got to consider that there's a reason that the big money and the smart money is taking such a big interest in Shiba Inu right now. And that is because this is still that low price that, let's zoom out now and let's look where it can go. And then we get that idea that we're still about 8x away from that all-time high. And we're thinking that it can go back there. And we're thinking that the next time it goes up there, that it's going to be worth even more because you will have burned a whole bunch more tokens, right? You'll be able to say that you burned, 10%. If you burn 10% of the tokens at that point, then your price action is going to be 10% higher. So if your 409 was worth $5 million, now it's worth $5.5 million. So I'm sure that there's a lot of whales sitting out there right now with some big ass wallets waiting just to see what happens. And it can't be understated that this whole thing is still way over the 200 EMA. And on these day charts over here, you can see we had a couple of red days on money flow, but the money flow on the day chart is still pumping to the positive and will probably continue. So odds are this is all a big fake out today. Zero Dune says Advantis AI new do your own research tool on Web3 space. Now, Zero Dune, we did check that out for a little while. We did look at that just a little while ago. And one of the things that we recognized was it's giving everybody the same kind of score. We only did a couple of them, but they were all coming up with the same score. So if we go over here, I guess we could take a shot at it one more time. Let's do Volt, because Volt, the other ones gave us all a 52 rating. So if we launch the app over here and we pop this in, we're going to do an analysis here. And it doesn't say that there's any lock liquidity in Volt, but there is lock liquidity in Volt. It's given us the wrong price action. Okay, it's given us the overall price action, and it's given us the only Ethereum. Okay, something's broken on. So it's not. All right, so something wrong on. There's something wrong on the Volt price action. Maybe it's Uniswap. Maybe it's that pool over there. But top 10 wallets, similar contracts, buy and sell checker, rate, weight, risk, AI score. So there's all the wallets, and the wallets are, some of these are worth millions of dollars. Jesus Christ. Contract used over 200 times. Okay, so we saw that before. It's basically telling us that this has the same, everybody's got the same contract on here. Mostly buys. It's 51% buy, 49% sell. And then the rating, by the way, before I go down there, the rating was a 52 on the last couple. So this one's a 73. So this one's low risk level, probably because of, I don't know. I have no idea. Maybe the value of it gives it a better score. It might be value weighted in that way. We're gonna have to see what the algorithm is for how they decide on Advantis AI. We're gonna need to see like how that works to really get kind of an idea of whether we like it or not. Let's go look at Saitama. Boom. I know you guys are excited to see Saitama. You're gonna hate if it has a good rating, right? You'd be like, "Good God damn it." So it's got 5 million in lock liquidity, 44.5 billion circulating supply. Next unlock is not for another year and 3 months. And remember, they were going to pull it out and they were going to steal it and they were going to run away with it. And listen, think about all the dummies. Think about all the dummies in this space that you've been listening to all this time that have been telling you all about how Saitama is going to run off with the money. And as soon as it's unlocked, they're going to steal it. And guess what? It's locked up for another year and 3 months now because they didn't do anything that everybody said they were going to do. And God damn it. What a bunch of dummies. But look at this. These guys, the wallets leading up here, more than 50% in the top 10 wallets, by the way. Whew. And then it's because of the dead wallet, by the way. $144.8 million in that dead wallet, by the way. Similar contract. It's giving me Baby Trump again. It's giving me Mononoke. It's giving me Tails. It's just the same thing over and over and over again. But 59% buys, 41% sells, 38.4, 2.7, 58. That's the same thing as Volt. I don't know what it's doing, but it's doing something. Like there's a pattern to this. And it looks like it's based on time. So things that launched that have been out for a year or more might seem to be getting more preferential ratings. So maybe that's good for it, by the way. That might actually be a good thing. But it gave us the same rating for, who knows? There you go. I thought Saitama was a scam. Everybody thinks it's a scam until a whole bunch of people make a bunch of money. And then everybody's like, well, yeah, it's still going to rug. And like, look, they made a bad decision. They've done plenty of bad things. And one of the things that you got to remember here is that not everybody here is a maxi about everything, and people make mistakes. And not everybody that creates a token, not everybody that creates a token is good at what they're doing. Well, here you go. 8 billion market cap to 100 million market cap. Well, also 0 market cap to 8 billion market cap. So you can say what you want, but they earned every bit of that 100 million market cap from 8 billion market cap. That's exactly what I'm saying. And actually it was a 30 billion market cap. So if you consider, because this is, and it's all SK, this is all about perspective, right? This is 100% about perspective, because here, if I go right here and I say, well, let's talk about where it was and where it is, if I bought on January 1st, because here's the January 1st candle. So if I took January 1st candle right here and I go up here to where it ended up, it went up 198%. So that's a 200% increase. So if you had at one point $1,000 in Saitama at that low number, or even one of these lower numbers over here, you ended up with $3,000. So, when it's all perspective based on your position at the time. If you're down here, your situation was even worse. And when you start to look at this down position to where it is now, that's a 267% increase, which means that if you had $1,000 there, then that's 250. So then you'd have like almost 4,000. So I mean, like it's positioning. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying you have to do your own research to decide whether or not you want to invest in. And I'm saying that, you know, you got to make, you got to make your own decision about shit like that. My opinion is they made some mistakes. They owned up to it. They've been standing in front of everybody, and, you know, they're going to do what they're going to do, but they've stood there the whole time. They've taken every punch that everybody's thrown at them, and they've come back strong each and every time. Not as strong. I'm not saying that they're $8 billion worth of strong. I'm not saying that they're ever going to be $8 billion worth of strong again. But if it goes from where it is right now to about $1 billion, then that's a 10x from where they are right now. And I mean, who doesn't want to have a 10x in a short period of time? And the one thing to remember, and this is just crazy, and I know this is crazy, but the one thing to always remember about Saitama is that they have marketing that is second to none. Like, they've done a great job with their marketing. Every time they get that opportunity to do something crazy, they end up doing something crazy. So I'm not going to put it past them to do something just absolutely fucking crazy again. So, you know, that's the crux of it is Saitama can go on a massive run. And when they have their volume and they're on exchanges now where they weren't before. So, and I'm putting too much oxygen into Saitama to effuse over their ability. And I'm not saying that their ability is huge. I'm just saying that they've so far. And by the way, for anybody who's in Terra, here is I made this statement over here. And we're going to have to look at it right now. Let me pop this up on the screen. I shouldn't be allowed to short crypto. That is an idea, by the way, that I had a long time ago, and I learned very quickly that that's actually a silly idea. You should be allowed to short crypto. That's really the way all of this, it all works that way. But anyway, here's the payroll number for Terra. And you can see here, volume, just no volume. People, look, it's going to take some time for the reestablishment of the trust in people. So here's the payroll number, which I think is coming around the 8th. The volume trading is just low, but the liquidity is $3.19 million. I mean, you can say what you want about it, but if you say it's dead, then you're an idiot, right? Because no dead token in a bear market still has $3 million worth of liquidity, unless it's something that's striving to be something more. And you can have your problems with Milton. You can have your beefs with Milton and the way that he addresses people and talks to people. But at the end, none of that shit matters. Here's what matters: can it moon? Can it pump? And it's got $3 million in liquidity, saying that it can. And he's already said specifically that they are going to repay each and every one of these withdrawals that they took for their payroll. Not, by the way, not in putting the money back in, because it doesn't really do anything, but they're going to burn all of these tokens. So every $144,000 that they've taken out, they're going to use in a massive sort of buyback when they have an opportunity each month, and they're just going to start burning off tokens. And you have to, at this point, you have to start looking at supply, and you have to see here that you have this 100 quadrillion tokens. Jesus Christ, I can't believe that's still a thing. For fuck's sake. And then 72% of the tokens are already burnt. So they're gone and out of the mix. Well, if you add another, let's say $1 million worth, then, that might just be what the payroll was. And that could be, it might be just a very significant amount of tokens. So let's see how much MEXC has. MEXC has at this, and then we have to talk about the token price, 903076. So here, and then we're going to talk about times point 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 3, 0, 7, 6. The MEXC only has 665. So like, you have to consider, like, how many tokens can you buy with those hundreds of thousands? You can burn a lot. You can burn a lot of tokens. This is what is this? This is a million, billion, trillion, 216 trillion. So you can probably burn another 25% of the supply, 20% of the supply. And I know that that doesn't make it go like crazy, but those are big numbers when it's all said and done in the total overall supply for Terra. So there's going to be some big moves that are happening right there. NGN content is going to be coming out tomorrow. You know, I could probably no, you know what? I got to save it for tomorrow. I got to save it for tomorrow because I want to do it that way. But NGN is an AI platform. So that's what we've been waiting to find out is what their big use case is. And there's an exchange listing that's going to come out in the next couple days. So we're start seeing this sort of build up to what's going on with NGN, and we're going to have a much clearer understanding over the next few days about how it plays out. But I do have, there's an article that was written from some of the developers explaining what NGN is doing. So we'll have a lot of information coming out very, very shortly. Actually, it might not be Monday. It might be Tuesday, because Monday is, I got a new project that I'm going to reveal Monday, tomorrow morning. By the way, if you're not already subscribed to the channel, I'm going to be doing a giveaway again. For those of you, especially for those of you who are, I did that USDC giveaway. So if you haven't become a member of the channel yet, I'm going to be doing another member giveaway in a couple days. And it's going to be some hats, and I don't know if you guys saw it or not. If you didn't, then her. All right, there we go. Be giving away these hats for a couple days. So if you want, you can have a Volted Believer hat. Hold on. It's going to be the same, roughly, as these right here. That the ones that I have right now, they say, oops, believe in Bitcoin. So if you're interested, then I'm going to be giving these away for a couple days. It's still cold outside. We're still going through the worst part of winter. So, and if you just want to wear a hat that says believe in some way, I mean, Jesus Christ, you'd be lucky for that, right? So we'll see that. And hopefully you're going to be like, yeah, I want to be a member. So become a member of the channel. That certainly helps me out tremendously. And it looks like, by the way, we're getting a little bit of a pump back in the market again. You know, it's I guess it's early, and you know, we're going to need that little flip into recovery mode. But 15 minutes starting to show some green candles building up. 4 green candles means a 30-minute is going to start turning green any second now, and then the 1 hour is probably going to start. Yes, so the 1 hour is starting to fade. So over the next little while, we'll start to see just a big move. If we see a big move, get a nice little pump out of it, then, you know, hopefully we'll be on the road to recovery from this little dump right here. And we'll say that 1609, 1610 is maybe a low. And if that's a low, by the way, that's going to be a great part. And that's going to be a great thing for this market. If we can get a nice recovery bounce here and get back into this area, it's going to invalidate all of that dump right now. And there's going to be a short, and we need a run. We're going to need some positive cash flow coming in. But if we get a run on this, then you got to consider, 10%, right? So we need about 1,700, and we're going to start to see shorts getting wrecked, depending on your leverage position. So, and where stop losses are set. But if we can get just some money back into the market, you're going to start to see shorts getting popped. You might even be seeing them right now, getting popped a little bit. We'll see. But anyway, that's my time, guys. So let me get out of here. Hope you guys are having a good day. Hope Sunday. Look, it's just been one of those days. It's just been one of those horrible days. What is this? Take a look at GRT. I don't know what that is. GRT, the graph or Grove token. Oh, GRT is graph. Yeah. That's what powers all of the trading charts. And yeah, that's a great play because TradingView is powered by GRT. Dex Tools, Dex Screener, anywhere that you go that has a chart is powered by the graph right now. So yeah, I would always be interested in GRT, especially when the bear market becomes that big bull run. Then something like the graph becomes even more important at that point. And you know, a lot of people are going to be super happy, especially because the way that they do it now, just it's beautiful. So anyway, it's not financial advice. My name is Believes. I am always right. You guys, thank you for tuning in. I got a feeling about tomorrow. I think we're going to have a nice little day. So just be wary, be very careful. Don't get wrecked. Don't get rugged. And we'll see you again tomorrow morning.
I'm looking for the good life, good life. Sitting on top of the world, I wanna be shining like diamonds and pearls. I want you to go